I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Potts.
Here.
Mrs. Pasco.
Here.
Mr. Maneri.
Here.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Here.
Mr. Root.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Farrell.
He's excused.
Mr. Wood.
Here.
Mr. Root, Awarda.
Here.
Mr. Diori.
Here.
Okay, public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. One, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 3rd, 2018. And two, emailed to the retrospect and carrier post on January 3rd, 2018. Since we have a special meeting here tonight, we're going to skip the agenda and go right to Resolution 18-75. This is a resolution confirming 2018 appointments for the Borough of Runnemede. We have several appointments. I'll read them off just briefly. The Fire Department, Stephen C. Mock is a part-time EMT. Brent T. Smith is a part-time EMT. Paul M. Wolf is a part-time EMT. In the Police Department, Arthur Burns is a Police Sergeant. And in the Public Works Department, Brian Barner is a full-time laborer. Zachary Giannone, full-time laborer, and Zachary Holmes is 6-month temporary labor. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mrs. Snelling. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Pasco.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Mr. Farrell's absent.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Maneri.
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, the resolution is adopted. At this time, we would ask Arthur Burns to please come forward. The Chief, his family, his county. Okay. You want you to come up? Okay. Please raise your right hand. I. Your name? Arthur Burns. Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly
that I will
swear
support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of
of the office of Sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
and that I will not use my office
I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment,
to grant preferential treatment,
nor to seek personal gain,
nor to seek personal gain,
favor,
favor,
or advantage
or advantage
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God. Congratulations. You're all welcome to stay for the whole meeting. I know how exciting these meetings are. But we'll give you a few moments if you guys want to talk or hallway with the officers. So we'll give you guys a few minutes.
They might come in.
Joyce, what's again, this page, 529?
I don't like them, I come. The famous judge.
Thanks for it, everybody.
What's that? Christmas time enough.
Nice to meet you.
He was good friends with
She'll win.
Yeah, I don't think so. God bless. Happy Fourth.
Happy Fourth. Very good luck.
Hey, thanks, sir.
See you guys.
My gosh, this is it.
Everybody left.
I came out the rain. Gee.
Okay, we'll continue with the meeting. Joyce, this is so. Okay. All right, now we have the approval minutes. A motion is in order for the approval minutes of the May 29th and June 6th meeting submitted by the clerk, as each member has received copies of the same. Is there a
Make the
motion?
motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Pascal. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved. Reports. Commission reports. Clerk?
Okay, I have the report of the fire marshal for the month of June. Total of $10,921.41 was collected in fire fees. There were 67 inspections completed, 139 EMS incidents, 63 fire incidents. There were 4 type 4 permits issued, and emergency medical services billing for the month of June, $26,093.04. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I reported the registrar provided statistics for the month of June. A total of $2,102 was collected for death copies, marriage copies, and marriage licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I reported the borough clerk for the month of June. A total of $2,301.40 was collected in various licenses and permits, including the pet licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I report of the tax collector for the month of June. A total of $144,259.24 was collected in taxes. And sewer rentals, $10,117.83 was collected. And hopefully we'll have a tax rate soon. There's another delay. We've been discussing how the school funding will be parceled out. I know that Jersey City is the...
Losing $3.5 million.
Well, supposedly, but apparently that's still up in the air, so it's holding everything up.
Last year, for those who don't remember, the way it worked was the state gave the schools more money. Runnemede was the recipient of about $120,000 last year, and the school board has the ability to either give that money back to the taxpayers in the current tax bill or hold on to it for the next year. What they did last year was they held on to it because it was such short notice, just like this is, because they've already gone through their budget. I would assume that if they got more money this year, they would probably just hold off using it until next year. They'll do a
Is there any
reduction.
word as to who's getting which county?
There is, there's a website, if you guys don't, on NJ.com, there's a website that lists all the municipalities and what the increase
But
would be.
it's proposed right now, or is it that?
No, there was an extra $450 million that was added to the budget.
It seems that we got an email, Jim got one, I got one today, saying that it's not definite where it's going to go.
That's it. The money's there, I didn't say how it was going to get spent. Okay, is there a motion to approve the reports as read?
I'll make a motion to approve the reports as read.
Motion by Ms. Passios, second by Mr. Longstein. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, communications. Do you want to read these, Joyce, or? I think the one is nice.
First one is from the mayor Beveridge, her husband's father passed away.
Embarrassing. You might not.
Thank you. We have a note from the Nicholas John Ross. He was one of the recipients of the grant from Borough Award that you council donates.
The one thing I wanted to say was that the McGrath Award has been going for how many years now? 20 years. I just want to make everybody aware.
He was a member of the RYAA, and he passed away rather young.
And his wife worked for the Borough, and she and her son always show up. This is the year.
They don't, yes, they don't. It says I was the recipient of the Memorial Award. Thank you, it was an honor. It makes me proud to know that the Runnemede municipalities involved. Thank you. Congratulations, great trade was my number today. It was so awesome. And then I got another note from another recipient, but I'm not sure if he's the one that
He's the one from the high school.
Is he the one from the high school?
You don't have to read that.
You don't want to read it?
But you can say his name, Joseph.
His name is Joseph S. Decker.
Okay. Okay. Is there a motion to accept the communications?
I'll make a motion to accept the communications.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Passios, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, committee reports. Finance, Mr. Renier.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, John.
Thank you. In finance, I'm proud to say that our 2017 annual audit has been completed, submitted, and was on time. As if that wasn't enough, there were no findings. I've already personally thanked our treasurer, Greg Anderson, for doing such a great job during such a difficult period. I also want to thank Joyce, the mayor, and everyone who had a part in our outstanding audit results.
Mr.
Well done.
Fiore.
Thank you.
And Mr.
Yep, absolutely. Our bond anticipation note, our bond anticipation note has been funded. We chose First Community Bank, and our rate is more than competitive at 1.93%. All of the work and equipment purchases are starting to unfold regarding the band, and they're in motion. Everybody's happy to get funding to complete their jobs and purchase equipment in each department. And recently, we have had an unanticipated sewer collapse on Clemens Bridge Road, Clemens Bridge and Reed, I think it was. This was not in our budget. Our CFO, Jim, has reached out for emergency appropriations, and our Public Works Supervisor, Harry Wazon, was able to get that resolved and at a huge savings to the town. Thank you, Harry. Your experience is valued, and we appreciate all that you do. And last but not least, we are getting closer to implementing our Edmonds time and attendance system. Just this week, our CFO, Jim Fioria, was able to upgrade our system to include additional services with no additional charges. And no charges is always music to my ears. Thank you, Jim. And the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Public safety, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. I gave a very lengthy caucus report, so I'm going to piggyback on that because I don't want to read it all over again. It was 2 pages long and reflected the HIF and the JIF and the coverage for the new planning, the new coverage for the planning board members, and what's going on with the school board. So if anybody's interested, they can always go to the video and get the whole report. So with that, I do want to report on the meeting with South Jersey Gas. I did go to it, and unfortunately, there was only about 4 people there. It affects 350 homes. So it's important that the people who are going to be affected realize that they have a contact that they can call if they have any questions about what's going to happen at their home or in their area. The South Jersey Gas Waterford Division can be contacted at 856-768-5555.
2900, extension 6240. So please, if you have any questions, I suggest that you call us out through the
And what the solicitor was just suggesting is maybe we should put that on our website also, help people out. I mean, I think there's 1,100 digs, is that what's going to happen? So there may be some problems. We'll let that know. We can have this. You can do your snippet, snap it, or what you call it.
It was an excellent presentation. He answered a lot of my questions, and I was really happy to be there. I just wish that more people had to. So there's going to definitely be a deluge of questions.
Well, they put the door knockers on everybody's house, right? And they let people know when
Yes.
they're digging it up.
And they did send out big, large yellow postcards.
Right,
To
Everywhere.
the
right.
homes, tell them about that meeting.
So we have 3 people show up.
Yeah,
Four, yeah.
well, one was husband and wife.
I went through it last year at my house.
No big deal. Well, sometimes
Not a
they
big deal.
damage people's sidewalks and,
Yeah.
okay, is there-
So I'll go on with my fire department report. They deployed 2 Narcans this month, and all the job site observations and EMS and fire department PEOSHA inspections were done. In the month of June, they had 139 incidents that they responded to in the EMS. The fire department had 63 incidents that they responded to. It was a very busy month. What does that average out to? 6.7 calls a day. That's a lot. We're lucky to have our men 24/7. To date, we have $184,556.05 totally is what has been collected in EMS and fire department fees. In our police department, 842 calls for service. That is much higher than what is normal. We usually have about 600. This is a really high month, and I don't know why it went up. Traffic summonses were 205, motor vehicle crashes were 24, 142 arrests were made, and this was done with only 28 hours of overtime. So I want to congratulate the chief on that. And they had 2 Narcan deployments. And that's my report, Mayor.
okay, thank you. Public events, Ms. Massey.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Okay, I can show everyone knows that tomorrow's July 4th, and it's very hot out. So, with that being said, our bike parade will begin at 9 o'clock in the morning, and our baby parade will begin at 9:30 with registration 15 minutes prior. We have it at the Harry Williams, and tomorrow we're going to have it inside where it's nice and cool, and everyone will be happy. And I think the choice was a good one. So it is supposed to be a little bit cooler, but we can't count on that. We have babies to worry about and old people. So with that being said, the May parade will start at 1 o'clock on the Black Horse Pike, and we will have a concert here at the Harry Williams on July 18th at 7 p.m. And it will be the Steve Cow Band. It's a jazz band. They're actually really great. We had them last year, and he does a mean black magic woman, so that kind of convinced me to get it again. So anyway, please mark your calendars. It's July 18th, 7 p.m. at the Harry Williams. Hopefully we will be having it outside. And with that, I wish everybody a happy 4th of July. And we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to come out. We'll be on 8th Avenue. John and I will be commentating. And fireworks are tonight at 9 o'clock in Barrington. I don't know if it's still raining out, or I haven't heard that it's been canceled. So if not, please go over.
And everyone knows.
Okay, so
We do
anyway,
support.
around 9 o'clock, Barrington, yes, we do some shared services with the Barrington, so, maybe we'll all see you out there. And with that being said, I do progress.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Engineering, we'll let you, after we're all done. Public Works, Mr. Root.
Thank you.
Well, since John said about the emergency repair, Mrs. Kelly mentioned South Jersey Gas. I've already hired the new guys, the rest is progress.
Mr. Walsall, since you're both here, I did get a phone call from Barrington talking about shared services, and one of the things that they would like to talk to us about is a shared service with our street sweeper. Now, I mentioned to them that we've talked about that the street sweeper has needed repairs in the past, and that we're thinking about in the future we're going to have to replace it. But one of the things that they wanted to do with a shared service agreement was to offer some of their services. So if you guys want to reach out to them and find out what they would do, the lead person is, sorry, I don't remember, it's a woman who's in charge of the Public Works Department, and then Mike Siaco is the Public Works Superintendent. He's away on vacation this week, but I think when they come back next week, they'd like to do a shared service where it would be offset with something that they're able to provide. One of the things they do have, they said, is they do have some mechanic services, and that's why they thought that maybe they could actually help out with paying for the brushes for the street sweeper, or parts for it. You know, those kinds of things that we've been paying with our Clean Communities funding and stuff like that. So that would offset some of those costs, and then they would use it. And I think it's the right thing to do. It's the way to go. So they don't have to spend $150,000. Is that how much they're going for? They're more, $200,000. So maybe we can help each other out.
Can I answer a question?
Sounds like it's working out.
Is that just the vehicle, or do they get men with that?
You know, that's something that they can work out. You know, there's a concern about who's driving it, I'm sure. The street sweeper is a piece of equipment that you should be trained on, obviously, to do it. So I think their department and our department, we can work something out. And, you know, between the CFO, her name is Denise, I forget her last name, but between the two of you, you can work out some kind of financial side of it on how we would do it. I'm not a big fan of bartering as much as I'm a big fan of having value to different things. So if we say something has a value and they have something that has a value, you know, I know they have a bucket truck that's beautiful, and I know they won't, but maybe there's a way, that, you know, I've always thought that if they wanted to bring the bucket truck, have their own man drive it. You know, if they're concerned about who's driving the vehicle, we could always compensate them for the officer, not the officer, but the person who's using it.
Fireworks is starting.
Barrington.
It's just another tool, I believe.
The Borough of Barrington. So if you guys reach out to them, I forget the Public Works.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else, or you were good? Okay. Parks and Rec, Mr. Lawson.
We had the lake cleaned out last week. The machine was down there. I saw them doing it. The lake is quite shallow. 2 feet in some parts, yes. And he was scraping bottom most of the time just with the tracks. So we're gonna have to look at, eventually doing something with it, dredging or whatever. Talked to Mr. Wozen briefly today. It's a long process, and we have to look at that.
Do you know how many tons of material was taken out? 2 tons, 4,000 pounds?
It's enough to fill 2 of our small pump truck, 800, so it was a large amount, but it's drying out right now. Dead weight, feet wet, so.
Trash, leaves, what was it?
A lot of stick debris, a lot of trash debris, a welding cart, 55-gallon drum, a couple of trash cans.
Any bicycles?
No bicycles, a lot of bottles.
Bob,
We had a few.
A lot of plastic bottles.
A lot of plastic bottles. Okay.
No turtles.
No turtles?
no turtles.
No turtles. What'd you do with the turtles, Harry?
No turtle sign.
Oh, the turtle sign you didn't find.
Oh, we thought that,
Every time he brought a load in, he'd actually go through it for the turtles. So he looked for fish, and he looked for the turtles, make sure that there was nothing in there. So that
Oh,
was.
you guys know you can find the turtle signs, huh? That's fun. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Lawson?
The sports is pretty much dead for the summer now. Baseball, I believe, is still going on a little bit. There might be a playoff or 2. And soccer is done. So the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Administrators report. Mr. DeRay.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. John mentioned a lot of the stuff that we're working on in finance. But I do have a few other things. We were able to fund our bond that was adopted a few weeks ago. We were able to, we put some bids out, we received 2 bids, and we received a good interest rate of 1.93. from First Community National Bank.
First. Is that in
That's
Collingswood?
local, the local bank.
So I was happy about that it was a local bank that's on the
Is that in Collingswood? Where they at?
First Community. I'm not really sure what it is.
Westmore.
It is local, and it is a good bank, and they serve other municipalities in the area also. So we're excited about that. We should have closing on July 10th. It allows us to get started with a lot of projects in the town, to roads, different things like that, so we're excited about that.
We have our exit conference for the audit next week.
I think
I think you mentioned that.
Oh, no, okay. Well, he mentioned the audit, but we do have an exit conference scheduled for Monday. So the exit conference will go over all the things that the auditors identify as ways to improve. You know, when I look at an audit and I go through the exit conference, I look at it not so much as what we did wrong, but where we can improve. Take it in a constructive way. It's always good. So we had a really good audit report, as John said, and we should be proud of that.
Okay.
I'm going to go into grants a little bit. The police have been doing a really good job procuring grants. Obviously, the safe and secure, the quicker ticket, any other grants that we have where we can show more involvement in the community, we can make it safer. That's always a good thing. And last week, we also just submitted and completed the Bulletproof Vest grant.
What?
Bulletproof Vest.
Say that three times now. Okay.
Bulletproof Vest, and we don't get a lot of money from the federal government. There's more money in the state body armor grant, but we did get some, and it subsidizes our costs and lets our police officers be more safe.
When you say body armor, is that only for the vest, or is it for other things?
Just the vest.
Just the vest? And do they have to replace the vest every few years? Is that why we're looking at the grant?
They do. I think there's an expiration date on that.
It's every 5 years, and it's actually in
What
our,
is that?
it's every 5
5
years,
years.
and it's in our, actually, our police contract that says that we will replace the vests every 5 years. So the grant helps offset that cost, so there's really no cost to the borough.
Now, when we replace the vest, is it on a rotation thing, or is it all at once?
It's a rotation. I work with Bill Sampolsky, who manages it, and Captain Bible. And it is definitely on a rotation, it's keeping an eye on it, because they are expensive. And between the grants and rotating, it keeps our costs down each year.
Thanks for explaining that.
No problem, anytime. Let's see, something else. Oh, the mayor and I were just talking about that, and confirmed it about the $250,000 CDBG grant. That has been applied, haven't gotten it. We're looking for that to help us with our project, Reed, Sisler, and Phillips.
Phillips, yeah.
All right, we funded it through the bond. We also got some NJDOT money. If we get this CDBG money, it would help us with what we had funded. We can use it in other ways in the borough.
Yes.
For positive things.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get it.
And oh, employee handbooks.
This is my pet project.
Right, I understand. So with the time and attendance software and going through everything, and trying to get that up and running, getting admins involved, we found that it's a good opportunity because a lot of the time and attendance software has to do not only with the CBAs, the collective bargaining agreements for our unions, but also the employee, overtime, sick, different things like that. So we're going to take that opportunity to work that into the project. So we've started that actively. So we're making progress. It's something like that's going to take a little time, but we're getting it.
Well, we don't really have to do it, so it has to be done by October.
Right.
So we have time.
Yeah.
Speaking about the new Supreme Court ruling about unions, does that affect us? Because, it really tears down what unions are able to do with the Supreme Court ruling.
She's talking about, we did receive an,
Does that
The Janice,
The agency?
we have to send a letter out. One of the things that we're required to do now, we got a letter from Lou Rosner, who does some of our labor council, sent us a letter basically informing us that we now have to send a letter out to all of our union members. They must affirm that they want their dues taken out. We just have to do it once.
We have, nobody fits that.
No one fits that criteria? Really? I thought this, I was under the impression that, well, we don't have the CWA anymore, yeah. Okay,
I
so-
checked with all the union representatives, we don't have anybody that fits that criteria.
If they don't fit it, that's great.
Oh, thank you for letting me know that. I was very concerned.
Yeah, we were under the impression we might have to send them a letter and they'd have to affirm.
When I saw that Supreme Court ruling come down, I was
Okay, that's good.
upset. That's the common word, to be upset.
And with that, progress.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Solicitors report, anything?
Progress.
Progress. Engineers report.
Hello, everybody. I'm Wayne Runner from Box Office, filling in for Mark tonight, for those of you who don't know me. It's my understanding Mark gave a report at the caucus meeting. One thing that he asked me to add is we put out a emergency quote package for repairs on Oakland Avenue, in front of 820 North Oakland. So we're anticipating getting everything back by Friday. I talked to Harry earlier. I'll kind of give him the heads up as far as what comes in, what pricing we're looking at. And I know myself and Mark next week will follow up with a letter to Mayor and Council recommending who we go with for that.
Okay.
Outside of that, if there's any questions you guys have regarding Mark's report, I'd be certainly entertain them.
The other thing I did want to make a mention, we just want to make sure we get our punch list items for the addition that we've done. There was a few things, I don't know if that's something we typically go through Mark, or do we go typically through Adam and through Tom? You know, there was a few things like a door lock, things like that. So we just,
You guys are still holding on to about 16K of retainage, which
Yes.
is more than enough to handle whatever punch list items they have, so
okay.
I could follow with that. And then,
Yeah, there's a few small things that both the clerk and the CFO know that we have some issues we have to resolve, so just want to let you know. Okay, thank you. And, okay. We're going to do, there's no old business. Give anybody an opportunity to public comment on agenda items. We're going to vote on all these. I'm going to read them all by title. We're just going to do, basically everyone has reviewed these ordinances. The public comment on the agenda items, that's what I was going to read. Okay, and so this portion of the meeting is open to the public if you want to talk about anything before we vote on it. If anyone wishes to come to the microphone, state your name and address. Oh, Mr. Burrell's here. The rain got you, huh? Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public portion? Motion to close?
I'll make a motion to close.
Second. Okay, public portion is closed. Okay, I'm just going to read the title of each one of the resolutions, and if there's any questions from council, please let me know. Obviously, we already did the resolution for the appointments. Resolution procuring the iSolve software for the use in time and attendance, as Mr. Diori said.
Very good.
Resolution authorizing property maintenance liens. This is about 15 properties for cutting grass. Resolution regarding the employment. Captain Goggleman has accelerated his date of retirement. He will now be retiring on September 1st instead of November 1st. So that'll be his last meeting. We're sorry to see him go. Resolution 1879 is a resolution authorizing the Borough of Runnemede to enter into an agreement with the State of New Jersey for the Division of Motor Vehicles for police security, extending it for 1 more year. This is at the same rate as what we did last year. Resolution 1880 is a resolution authorizing the refund of permit fees.
The solar permits.
We're refunding 3 of those. 8081 is a resolution authorizing a shared service agreement with the Runnemede School District for a school, it's not a school resource officer.
That's what they called it.
They did? It's a school security officer. There's a difference, a resource officer is fine. We typed the agreement. So the security officer will be at the school based on an hourly basis. The school can increase that amount of time based on their funding. But it's basically every single day there will be a security officer there, along with our normal patrols that will be stopping.
School resource officer.
So you should change this.
Will the agreement be
Our agreement says security officer. Should say security. Oh, we'll clarify
We have to change that.
before I sign it. What was your question, Ms.
I
Pastor?
already signed.
That's okay, I'll get it this. What was your question? Okay. The security officer will be either at any of the schools, depending on the requirements of the school administration. So yeah, the administration of the school will determine where the officer is positioned during the day, or if they want additional officers. The agreement allows them to even ask for additional. Resolution authorizing emergency appropriation funds, that's what pays for the sewer break. Resolution reappointing Brian Schneider as the tax assessor, and this gives him tenure. He's been our tax assessor for 12 years?
Yes, and we
12
did
years.
the second appointment for him.
And 9 years ago, he was supposed to be reappointed with tenure. We are now fixing that problem. It took the state 9 years to tell us that we forgot to do it. So we will get that done tonight. Resolution authorizing salary increases for employees of the Borough of Runnemede. This is part of the budget. There's a whole list. It's not in here, but there's a list of all the positions with their increases. Resolution authorizing the submission of application for the New Jersey DOT Federal Safe Routes to School program. Trying to get some money from the DOT to help fund sidewalks and things like that all the way to our 3 schools in the high school. Resolution authorizing submission of an application for the 2018 Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Program. Very similar, that's also asking for us to get money from the federal government to put a path. It was part of our recreation plan. There was a path that went from the small fields to the snack stand and all, so we're hoping to get some funding for that. Resolution 1887 is a resolution certifying the governing body has received the 2017 audit recommendations. Can we do that now, or we have to wait for the exit conference?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, everyone had it in their box. Okay,
We have it.
so everyone has that. Okay, so is there any questions? Okay, so we need a motion for resolutions 1876 to 1887.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 1876 through 1887.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Mr. Lobenstein. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Reed.
Yes.
All right, the resolutions are adopted. We need a motion for the monthly payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Motion by Ms. Passio,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Ranieri. Roll call, please.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Reed.
The bills shall be paid. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address.
Not today.
Mr. Laverne. Are you here as a resident?
No, I'm not.
I won't
Okay.
have a question, not today.
Businesses you were asking to do a meeting regarding fire department operations and budget.
We have a-
347 Van Court, Runnemede, also the deputy chief of fire department. Just to bring everybody up to speed, it's been a little bit since we had an opportunity to get everything. Mrs. Kelly's been doing a fine job getting the information to everybody, but there's some items that just came up. Nothing major, all positive. Been working with the business administrator, Mrs. Kelly's been updated as we know. All the paperwork for all our capital improvements been submitted. It's just ready to go out the door. The final specification was delivered today for the apparatus. The rest of the tool equipment has all been forwarded. We're able to purchase that through the HDAC grant, which we were able to come way below, not way below, but below budget. There's also, I think, the business administrator is going to look into it, possible ways that we could save up to $20,000 additional. If possible, I know he's going to keep looking at it. This lister, I had the whole binder with the boilerplate for you to review, and I'll make a copy for the solicitor.
So Fred, are you looking for us at the next meeting to approve the purchase of the
I think
piece of
that's
fire
all
equipment?
done, Jim. I don't know what the procedure is for that.
So the purchase is approved, now the funding has been, okay, so so you don't need anything from council's action?
No,
at
it's
this
just an
point?
update.
Okay.
And also, I wanted to bring up, Mrs. Kelly brought up about the responses. Just this evening, just want to bring everybody up to speed. We responded to about 6 or 7 incidents from about 6 o'clock. and they're currently operating in Belmar on a building fire. So please-
Was that the lightning strike? Is that-
I'm not sure what caused it.
We had something down in
I know they're operating in Belmar right now on a fire, so please keep all the first responders in thoughts. But grant-wise, we're still in the running for last year's grant, which was $50,000. And followed up this afternoon, we are in the running, which we did not know, and I didn't want to bring it up until we knew, for a boat replacement, $75,000.
Nice,
There's
nice.
no copay on behalf of the borough. So that's where
Wonderful.
I just wanted to bring everybody up.
Wonderful.
Will it go in 2 feet of water? Is that,
Yes, we also have suits, we also have suits in the grant that would be able for us to walk in.
About a room,
Oh, okay, great. As part of that is a tool system. It's a hard body, 5-bottom boat, and also inflatable.
Okay.
On the lake, passengers put the boat right in, pretty easy for everyone. So, thank you, Fred.
thank you. Thank you
thank
very
you,
much.
Fred, for the update.
Anyone else? Not seeing no one else, is there a motion? Oh, well, let's close the public portion. Is there a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion to close the public portion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Passio, second by Mr. Lobenstein. All in favor to close the public portion?
Aye.
Okay, the public portion is closed.
I received a summary of the New Jersey state budget that was passed on June 30th. Is everybody familiar with what the budget is holding for the residents of New Jersey?
I don't know if you should, I don't think you should read it all to everyone. I think they should go read it themselves. It's only about 400 pages.
Well, this is the summary. It's one-page summary. It's up to you.
I think it's in the-
Do you want me to let
No.
you know what's going on?
It's in the weeds. I think people need to read it themselves. It's very long.
It is, and it's going to affect a lot of people.
Yes, not us. Nobody's here making more than $5 million this year, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Is it who goes?
Come on. I
Okay.
think I just got a raise.
Anything else? Is there a
Yeah,
motion?
wait a minute, I have something to say, I forgot. National Night Out is August 7th on a Tuesday, so our next council meeting will be on Wednesday, August 8th. So I just want to remind everybody. I want to hear it, and it starts, I believe, at 6 o'clock.
Thank you. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Ms. Lobenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we adjourn. 7:43.